Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, 4 people are facing charges after authorities seized what they say is a large amount of fentanyl coming into the state of Maine. 31-year-old Mark Jordan of Millbridge, 66-year-old Peggy Lou Stroud of Gouldsboro, 22-year-old Dalvin Jose Piguero of the Dominican Republic in Lawrence, Massachusetts, and 25-year-old Yoneri Arias de Jesus, also of the Dominican Republic and Lawrence, are all being charged with aggravated drug trafficking. On September 1st, MDEA agents assisted by Maine State Police executed a search warrant at a residence on the Dexter Road in Cambridge. MDEA Commander Peter Arno said the search yielded approximately 3.75 pounds of suspected fentanyl, along with approximately $13,000 in suspected drug proceeds. Now, that search and a seizure during a vehicle stop made earlier in the day were part of an investigation into a large amount of fentanyl being brought into the state and distributed throughout Penobscot, Somerset, Hancock, and Washington counties. Well, there is new information tonight on an incident in Lincoln on Sunday. According to Lincoln Police Chief J.D. Sparks, at 3 p.m. on Sunday, the Regional Communications Center received a call from a man who said 4 people had entered his home and held him against his will. The man stated he was able to escape to the neighbor's home. Sparks says when police arrived at Lee Road in Lincoln, the man stated 3 men and a woman had entered his house, tied him up in a chair, and then took something, which he believed to be a dead body, and placed it in his shop. Sparks says Lincoln Police, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, Maine State Police, and Maine Warden Service secured the perimeter around the house, and officers made contact with a family member of the man who told officials he has a medical condition. Sparks says when officers arrived, they checked the home, shop, and other areas of the property. They found no signs of any crime. The man was checked by Lincoln ambulance personnel. Well, a New Hampshire police department says 4 people who were all from Maine died after an SUV crossed the center line and collided with a 2010 Dodge Caravan. Rollinsford police say the crash on Portland Avenue in Rollinsford was reported about 8:30 p.m. Sunday. The only occupant of the eastbound vehicle, which was a 2014 Subaru Forester, was declared dead at the scene of the crash, as was one of the passengers in the van. The driver of the Dodge van and a second passenger were later pronounced dead at area hospitals. The operator of the Subaru Forester was 33-year-old Kyle McGowan of Kennebunk, Maine. The 3 other victims were from South Berwick, Maine. The parents of Graham Locker are expanding their efforts to find their son who went missing from the Dorothea Dix Psychiatric Center in Bangor in June. Tammy Locker Sully, Graham's mom, is asking homeowners to participate in her Adopt a Sign for Graham campaign in order to get the word out that her 38-year-old son is still missing. Sully says those willing to place a lawn sign on their properties can pick up those signs tomorrow at Cascade Park between 3 and 5 p.m. Sully says it's been 3 months since anyone has spotted him.
The first step in getting a sighting is to make sure that people know that he's missing. We feel that there's pretty good awareness in the Bangor community, so we're focusing on the areas outside of Bangor and hoping to place signs on heavily traveled ways.
5'11" and weighs around 200 pounds. He was last seen on June 6th in the woods between the Dorothea Dix Psychiatric Center and Sylvan Road in Bangor. Anyone wishing to adopt a sign for Graham who cannot pick one up at Cascade Park tomorrow is urged to contact the family on the Missing Graham Locker Facebook page. Well, Senators Susan Collins and Angus King are co-sponsoring a bill to address hazing on college campuses. The Report and Educate About Campus Hazing Act, or REACH Act, would require hazing incidents to be reported as part of a college's annual crime report. It would also establish a definition of hazing to clarify what is a reportable offense. The legislation would require institutions to establish a campus-wide research-based program to educate students about the dangers of hazing. University of Maine Vice President for Student Life and Inclusive Excellence, Robert Dana, said, quote, with college students across the country experiencing mental health challenges at record rates, it has never been more important to promote the safety and well-being of our campus communities, end quote. Well, a historic bridge in Milo has residents worried about safety heading into the school year as children must cross it during the week. Our AG Douglas learned what repairs concerned citizens are calling for.
Community members say their concerns are rising as barriers like this go without any safety fencing.
Sometimes this is in the shadows, and this more needs to be paid attention to, especially the concerning part, a school zone bridge. More has to be addressed to that.
The bridge sits in downtown Milo and is technically within a school zone. McKinnon says the only way for children to get to school requires them to cross the bridge. The original bridge was designed without any railing over the waterfall.
If any kid were to lose their balance in that spot, can go right over the rail and fall into the waterfall.
Another issue Milo residents shared was the number of logging trucks that rely on the bridge for travel. McKinnon describes the constant battle drivers must face to stay safe and share the road.
They have to go into the oncoming lane of travel just to make the turn because the turn is too sharp for them. Usually, cars in the oncoming lane have to stop, let them make their turn, and proceed.
We spoke to Region Manager for the Department of Transportation, Stephen Labarge. He says a wooden rail will be installed sometime this fall and that the DOT will continue watching safety concerns in the future. Labarge says the department is hoping to begin replacement construction within the next 3 to 4 years. In Milo, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
As the November election draws closer, the Wabanaki Alliance is calling for change as they make political decisions about the future. Zeke Crofton McDonald says they are endorsing legislative candidates based on a questionnaire released to incoming candidates, as well as past votes concerning Wabanaki sovereignty and tribal issues. Crofton McDonald says the Wabanaki Alliance focused most on efforts to modernize the Maine Indian Claims Settlement Act of 1980. The existing settlement, established over 4 decades ago, excludes tribal people from legislation unless the state of Maine votes in favor of it. The Wabanaki Alliance has not endorsed a gubernatorial candidate.
Whether the governor has been Republican or Democrat or independent, there has been no effort from the Blaine House to modernize the Settlement Act. We are willing to work with anyone who will work with us, who is willing to help us modernize the Settlement Act.
To view the list of Wabanaki Alliance candidate endorsements, you can visit WabanakiAlliance.com. Well, one of the strictest internet privacy laws in the country has withstood a legal challenge as a group of telecommunication providers has dropped its bid to overturn it. Maine created one of the toughest standards in the nation for internet service providers in 2020 when it began enforcing an opt-in web privacy standard. Industry associations swiftly sued with a claim that the new law violated their First Amendment rights. A federal judge rejected that challenge. Maine Attorney General Aaron Frey said the groups, which include the country's biggest telecommunications providers, filed to dismiss the lawsuit on September 2nd. Well, driving continues to get a little less expensive. Gas prices fell 15 cents a gallon in the last week. Gas Buddy's survey of 1,200 stations around the state found the average price is now $3.84 a gallon. That's almost 63 cents a gallon lower than a month ago. It's still a little over 73 cents a gallon higher than a year ago, though. At least we're seeing a little bit of progress there, but definitely still more needed. Alrighty, folks. Well, let's hit pause here. Let's take a look outside and see what's coming our way weather-wise, at least in the coming hours, with a first check of our forecast with Mr. Jeff Weller. Jeff.
Beth, thank you. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather is brought to you by GRF Real Estate Company. And okay, let's talk about this. Some clouds earlier have now parted ways with us, drifting south, and they will stay there. We are in a drying out phase now as cooler air comes in for us tonight. And then sunshine returns tomorrow and for Thursday and for Friday and for Saturday with slowly warming temperatures. Yes, 80s are back in the forecast as all this will drive to our south tonight and throughout the day tomorrow. All right, so today we did this. So 60s and a couple low 70s out there. Tomorrow, though, most of us back in the 70s for highs after some dense fog is back in the forecast for most of us tonight. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, some dense fog late with low temperatures down near 50. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Alrighty, a calm, cool overnight heading our way. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, more than 200 driving instructor and examiners filed into the Augusta Civic Center for the first ever Maine Driver Educator Summit. And longtime Herman Fire Chief Frank Roma has announced his retirement. All of those stories and more local news when we come back.
Gas, groceries, school supplies. Everything costs more these days. It's outrageous. Things are tough, and every little bit helps. That's why we've balanced budgets without raising taxes. And we're able to give real money back to Maine people to help them with higher costs.
Fighting inflation instead of each other. One more way Governor Mills puts Maine first.
The Furniture Gallery is celebrating Labor Day. Thank you to those who continue to work hard every day. It's your time to kick back and relax in a new recliner. Save 10% on our entire recliner selection. After a long day at work, you deserve a great night's sleep. The Furniture Gallery is offering a free bundle with any Simmons Harmony Luxe, Serta iComfort, and Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress purchase. Special financing is available. Support our Maine family-owned business. The Furniture Gallery, Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, Newport, and North Windham.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, no matter how big or small, depend on Hammond Lumber Company for the products and services you need. The knowledgeable staff at Hammond Lumber will be with you every step of the way and keep your project on schedule. From free estimating and project planning to design and drafting services, an extensive product inventory with a wide variety of brands to choose from, and of course, Hammond delivers from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Pro football fans, it's You Pick'em NFL, the Pro Football Challenge from Fox 22. Go to foxbangor.com, click on You Pick'em, and go to You Pick'em NFL. Make your picks, and you could be the weekly winner of a gift certificate from Chase's Family Restaurant in Bangor. Brought to you by Chase's Family Restaurant in Bangor, Proudy Auto Body in Dover Foxcroft, Twin City Tile and Brewer, and Twin City Tint in Brewer. Compete all season long for the grand prize trip for two to Hawaii. It's You Pick'em NFL at foxbangor.com.
The most talented home cooks return.
There's someone from every season.
This is MasterChef Back to Win.
Don't miss all new episodes Wednesday, only on Fox.
Hi, I'm Joe Cortez. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, a well-known fire chief from the town of Herman is hanging up his hat. We'll have a story on that. Plus, Tyler Cruz will get us ready for week 2 of high school sports back in Maine. And Devin Biggs will have your full weather forecast. We'll have this and much more local news. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. Controversy brewing over an influential watchdog group targeting Maine's lobster industry and lobster itself. It put 14 types of fish, including Maine lobster, on its list of seafood that consumers should avoid, even though lobster is safe to eat unless you're allergic to shellfish. Brad Rogers explains what's behind this and why lobstermen are fighting back over this blacklisting.
Now is the next part, the tail.
From the claws to the tail, lobster is what brings many tourists to Maine.
We just traveled to Maine to eat lobster.
But now the lobster industry says it's being blacklisted. The watchdog group Seafood Watch is telling people to avoid eating lobster because it claims lobster gear is killing endangered right whales.
No one wants to know that their appetite for seafood is driving a species to extinction.
Seafood Watch says the lobster industry must change their fishing practices to get off this list. But lobster industry advocates say they're already complying with every regulation to protect right whales.
There's an incredibly high compliance with regulations around these protective measures. So it's very disappointing.
Seafood Watch and government agencies say vertical lines and ropes are a leading cause of injury and death for the North Atlantic right whale. But Maine lobstermen who've been switching over to breakaway lines to protect the right whale say that's simply not true.
A right whale's death or serious injury has never been attributed to Maine lobster gear.
Right whale conservationists say the population has shrunk 30% in the past decade to where there are now fewer than 340 right whales. But Maine lobstermen argue most right whales are killed from ship strikes in Canadian shipping lanes.
We're unfairly being targeted when the main problem is, again, ship strikes.
Longtime lobsterman Richard Black, who's now using breakaway lines as required, says Seafood Watch is going after the wrong people.
They're entirely misguided. Well-meaning people who have not a clue. The likelihood of a right whale going up into my gear is non-existent, but yet I still have to comply with all of these crazy mandates.
As for tourists and seafood restaurants, they say blacklisting lobster is absurd.
Sounds a little bit extreme to me, and I think they've already addressed the issues that were concerning. You know, if you want to complain about something, that's fine. Just don't get in the way of me eating what I want to eat.
I don't think it's bothering the tourists a bit, because they're buying fish and lobsters every day.
And that was Brad Rogers reporting. Meanwhile, school leaders with the Bonnie Eagle School District could decide to ban a book on puberty and sex education tonight. School leaders first discussed the issue last month. Now it comes to a vote. The book is called It's Perfectly Normal, and it's a source of controversy. A concerned group of citizens were the first to bring attention about the book to school leaders. Some called the book immoral and said that it undermines parental rights. Others shared concerns over the book's references to puberty and sex education, including within the LGBTQ+ community. Some students at Bonnie Eagle High School, though, have said they were in support of the book being available to students, arguing that it could be a valuable resource for some kids to learn about sex education.
I believe in parental authority, and our policy, IJJ, says the final authority for what a student is exposed to rests with the parent. And I think that's at odds with, does one parent have the authority over other people's children and what they are exposed to? And that's sort of the crux of this position we're in right now.
Well, the book is currently available at Bonnie Eagle Middle School. The superintendent of MS 86 says if the book is not banned tonight, which we're getting word into the newsroom that in fact was not banned, parents, of course, still have the right to not allow their child to check it out. The Maine Bureau of Highway Safety and AAA Northern New England hosted its first ever Maine Driver Educator Summit. Matthew Jurancic explains.
Starting early Tuesday morning, more than 200 driving instructors and examiners filed into Augusta Civic Center for the first ever Maine Driver Educator Summit. The conference brought well-known experts to Maine to present on the topics facing driver educators, with attendees being able to gain insight into teaching student drivers about new vehicle technology. Owner of Flanagan's Driving School, Matthew Ouellette, says it's important for student drivers to be prepared.
And it's important for young drivers to slow down a little bit in their education around driving, to understand the impact and severity of the responsibility that they're taking on, and the responsibility of others' lives, including their own, when they take the road behind the wheel.
Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows says creating safe drivers starts with what they are taught in the classrooms.
In a rural state like Maine, a driver license is a critical pathway of opportunity to participation in daily society. Work, school, and recreation are equally important to have that driver license. So driver education is fundamental to getting that driver license.
Those who attended also got the chance to see the Maine Department of Transportation's crash data for educating drivers on high crash locations in their areas, as well as a chance to network with other examiners. Director of Public Affairs for AAA Northern New England, Pat Moody, says everything learned in the summit is essential for teaching safe driving.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 teen driver crashes are the result of a teen driver making a mistake out there. So really, the two people that have the most influence are mom and dad, or the driver educator that has the first introduction to that safety sense of responsibility. So making sure that we're able to get that information to them and they're able to present it to the students in a timely fashion.
All in all, Moody says he's happy with how the event turned out.
Awesome turnout here today. Over 200 people here in attendance. Basically, that's about half the driver ed providers in the state of Maine.
Reporting from Augusta, Matthew Jurancic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, with elections coming up in November, Secretary of State Shanna Bellows has announced a statewide training for all election officials. In a partnership with the Maine Town and City Clerks Association, the training will provide local officials with the necessary skills for running a safe election. The training will help keep new and veteran clerks up to date with information and changes to Maine law, making it easy for Mainers to vote. Maine Secretary of State Shanna Bellows says that town clerks need to be equipped with every possible tool for future elections.
It's important because sometimes there are changes to state and federal election laws, And at the Secretary of State, we work hard to make sure our local election officials have every tool available to ensure free, fair, and secure elections.
According to Bellows, Maine has some of the best run elections across the country, saying the state ranked third in 2020 for voter participation. Well, switching gears now, changes are coming to the Herman Fire Department now that Fire Chief Frank Roma has announced he is retiring. Roma, who has over 40 years of firefighting experience, has been at the helm of the Herman Department for the past 6 years. And as Jody Hersey tells us, the chief says he knows he's leaving the crew in good hands.
It's been very rewarding. And again, I couldn't be happier for the time that I've had here in Herman.
Frank Roma has enjoyed a long and memorable firefighting career, most recently serving as the Herman Fire Chief for the past 6 years. However, he says the time has come for him to move on.
People look towards retirement, or in this business you do, but I can tell you it goes by real fast. And 48 years has gone by a lot faster than I thought it would.
Although Chief Roma will retire from the fire department at the end of September, he says he has no plans of slowing down.
I'm currently in the process of becoming a CASA volunteer, and that's a court-appointed special assistant for working with foster kids in the Health and Human Services department as they transit through that, hopefully to find permanent homes or get back to their biological homes if possible. And I'm also running for state representative in District 34, which is Glenburn, Kenduskeag, Levant, where I live in Glenburn. So I'll be busy for a little while.
Assistant Fire Chief Cody Sullivan will soon fill Roma's shoes as Herman's fire chief and says Roma will certainly be missed.
I will miss his leadership. It'll be, now it'll be up to me to make those decisions. I don't have him above me to help me and guide me, but I feel ready for it. But I know he'll only be a phone call away when I need a little poke in the right direction.
In Herman, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And our thanks to Chief Roma for his service to the community. Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, top Biden administration officials making a plea to all Americans about getting new Omicron boosters they say will provide better protection against infection. We'll have that story and much more when the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one, gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
I earned my retirement. I worked over 40 years for it. But Bruce Poliquin doesn't get it. He's a Wall Street banker and congressman who took all that money from the drug and insurance industries, then voted for devastating cuts to Medicare and risking Social Security. Poliquin even supported raising the retirement age. Bruce Poliquin is all about corporations and multimillionaires like himself, not us. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Just as cooler weather comes along, so does another great offer from Renewal by Andersen. All this month, $300 off each of our energy-efficient windows, $800 off each door, nothing down, no payments or interest for 12 months for qualified buyers. Schedule a free in-home consultation at rbagreatermaine.com.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
We will come to you.
An emergency is the absence of choice, robbing us of our safety.
I can feel it coming. Get out the van! Oh my God.
911 season premiere September 19th on Fox. Watch anytime. All seasons available on Hulu.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
A new and worrisome school year started Tuesday in Uvalde, Texas, 3 months after a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School. Fox's Steve Rappaport has the story.
A new school year starts in Uvalde, Texas, but some students are facing lingering fears following one of the deadliest shootings in American history. Just 3 months ago, a lone gunman broke into Robb Elementary School, killing 19 children and 2 teachers before being fatally shot by law enforcement. Now teachers and staff are welcoming the survivors back to classrooms, with neighboring schools urging students to honor Uvalde by wearing its colors, maroon and white.
We can't even begin to imagine the level of emotion, maybe the anxiety, the fear. So this is our way of just saying that we're with you.
Robb Elementary has been permanently closed. Its students are attending classes in other facilities. There was a strong security presence on day 1 and new fencing around the town's public school campuses. Officials say about 36 state troopers will remain on those campuses, but that's little comfort to some families who point out there were almost 100 troopers on scene during the attack.
It was a systematic failure from the top to the bottom. Everybody is complicit in it, and nobody wants to take accountability.
Meanwhile, President Biden still using the shooting as a call to action, saying more needs to be done to make sure dangerous weapons don't fall into the wrong hands.
When I was recently in Uvalde, you know what some of the parents had to do? Supply DNA. Supply DNA. Because the AR-15 just rips the body apart.
School officials are also offering a virtual learning option for Robb Elementary students. About 100 families have signed up so far. In New York, Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
In other news, Donald Trump was granted his request for a third-party arbiter to look over documents taken from Mar-a-Lago. It's unclear who this so-called special master will be, but by the end of the week, we may get a better read. Fox's Mark Meredith has more from Washington.
Supporters of former President Trump are cheering a federal judge's decision to appoint a special master or independent third party to review materials the FBI seized from Mar-a-Lago nearly a month ago. Both federal prosecutors and lawyers for the former president have until Friday to develop a list of special master candidates, but it's Judge Eileen Cannon who gets the final say.
The attacks on this judge are really astounding. The special master is an extension of her authority.
In a ruling released Monday, Judge Cannon granted the former president's request for a special master to weed out materials subject to attorney-client privilege and executive privilege claims.
I don't think it changes the ball game so much as maybe we'll have a rain delay for a couple of innings.
Meantime, the ruling means the Justice Department must temporarily pause its review of seized materials.
This does not prevent them from continuing their investigation. They can't use the documents, but they can interview witnesses.
If the Justice Department appeals, a decision would then fall to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in Atlanta, where Trump appointed 6 of the 11 judges on the bench.
Whenever you're going to the Court of Appeals, normally it takes a long time. It can take a year. Supreme Court review, which Trump will no doubt try and avail himself of, that'll take time.
There are strong indications that the Justice Department plans to appeal the judge's ruling. Meantime, the former president, he continues to fundraise off of these legal developments. In Washington, Mark Meredith, Fox News.
Well, abortion is becoming a major issue in the midterms following this summer's U.S. Supreme Court decision, which essentially struck down the Roe v. Wade precedent. Fox's Aisha Hasni shows us how the subject is affecting many contests.
Joe O'Dea opposes the law protecting abortion access in Colorado.
In Colorado, Democrats have Republican Senate candidate Joe O'Dea on the defense over abortion rights.
It paints me as a absolute pro-life, and that's not where I'm at.
The left has made the Dobbs decision, which returned the abortion issue to the states, the focal point of their campaigns across the country.
Ripping away our constitutional freedom, our reproductive freedom,
has awakened millions of voters.
A New York Times analysis of voter registration in 10 states shows the SCOTUS ruling galvanized female voters. The biggest surge happened in Kansas, where more than 70% of new voters in the month after the decision were women. It's the same state where voters rejected a measure to strip abortion rights. Now, Republican Senate candidates in battleground states like O'Dea are leaning on their wives to soften their image among female voters, while others are softening their positions. In Arizona, Republican Senate candidate Blake Masters, whose campaign website once described him as 100% pro-life, now says he does not support third trimester abortions.
I trust our candidates to know their districts and know how they're going to appeal to their voters.
Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel told the AP the GOP needs to narrow its message on the issue, offering this: the past 4 Republican presidents since Roe believe in the exception, and that is where I think a lot of the American people are, she said, adding, but they also believe in limitations, and Democrats have shown no inclination to have any limitation.
And former RNC spokesman Doug High echoes that message, but he also thinks Republicans should just stick with those pocketbook issues. And that's because, according to a new Pew survey, about 77% of registered voters still believe the economy is the #1 issue this November. On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
Well, Memphis police identified the remains of missing jogger Eliza Fletcher. As her family grieves, an alleged killer is facing charges of first-degree murder. Fox's Charles Watson has the latest.
Memphis police have confirmed that the human remains found in a South Memphis neighborhood Monday are those of missing teacher and mother of 2, Eliza Fletcher. Police have charged Cleotha Absent Henderson, the man suspected in her kidnapping and death, with first-degree murder and first-degree murder and perpetration of kidnapping. That in addition to especially aggravated kidnapping and evidence tampering charges.
While the outcome of this investigation is not what we hoped for, we are nonetheless pleased to remove this dangerous predator off the streets of Memphis.
His arrest came less than a day after police said they found a GMC Terrain with Absent Henderson inside that was allegedly used in Fletcher's abduction last week while she went for a run on the University of Memphis campus. According to an affidavit, Absent Henderson's cell phone puts him in the area around the same time security footage shows a male jump out of a black GMC Terrain, run aggressively toward the victim, and then force Fletcher into the passenger side of the vehicle. Police say Absent Henderson left behind a pair of sandals. Investigators later linked them to him through DNA.
Typically, you have very little evidence to go on. But in this particular case, there's a lot of pieces of evidence.
Fletcher's body was located in an abandoned home less than a mile away from the apartment complex, where witnesses, including Absent Henderson's brother, allegedly saw him cleaning the floors of his SUV.
She's just a beautiful person, and it's just awful to see the evil that's in the world.
We're hearing from the Fletcher family. They released a statement saying, in part, "We are heartbroken and devastated by this senseless loss. Liza was such a joy to so many." In Memphis, Charles Watson, Fox News.
Well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a new doggy daycare opens its doors in the Bangor area. And in sports, Maine football is coming off a tough loss in week 1 of their season. So where do the Black Bears focus their attention ahead of the home opener? We'll be right back.
LEGO Masters is back. We are going to blow your minds. Oh.
LEGO Masters premieres September 21st on Fox. Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Out with the old and in with the new. Check out Pat's Pizza Specials. Tuesdays, $5 spaghetti and meatballs. Tuesday all day breadstick special.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizzas,
$8.
Wednesday, small steak and cheese with french fries,
$6.25.
Friday, fish with french fries,
$7.50.
Saturday, small one-item pizza, fountain soda,
$7.25.
And you can still save some dough. Bring the family to the all-new Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road North, Hamden.
So, it's Friday night dinner. All of a sudden, boom, boom. The kid's like, Dad, what is that? And you, Gecko, go, roar! Huh?
It's a bit too aggressive, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, sure, rewind it. How about this? Beg your pardon, but bundling your home and car insurance could save you hundreds. And then the neighbors are like, giant gecko? Huh? Who? The little girl's like, hi, Gecko.
Well, quite the commercial.
Yeah, I know, right?
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
We are the first family of country music. We gotta show the world the legacy will continue beyond me.
I'll do anything to protect this family.
Our family is all secrets and lies.
What did you do?
If there's a hell, I booked my ticket years ago. Just watch.
Monarch series premieres September 11th on Fox.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th.
As the campaign to get flu shots is gearing up ahead of the fall, health officials are hoping they can convince Americans to roll up both sleeves and get another COVID booster as well. Fox's Lauren Blanchard reports from Washington.
Coronavirus booster shots could be a yearly necessity. That's according to top Biden administration scientists.
I really believe this is why God gave us two arms, one for the flu shot and the other one for the COVID shot.
With flu season right around the corner, the White House COVID response team is hoping Americans, especially those with health risks, will get the newest booster shot. It specifically targets the latest COVID variants.
For the first time since December of 2020, these vaccines, our vaccines, have caught up with the virus.
But more shots means more money is needed. The administration will need to convince lawmakers it will cost less to act ahead than play catch-up like last winter's deadly and widespread Omicron surge.
We want to make sure that we can tell the American people we're looking around the corner to what comes next.
Democrats are considering adding $21 billion to a bill this month for COVID shots, medicine, and tests. Republicans say go ahead, but they won't allocate any new funding. Rather, it will need to come from unspent pandemic funds.
Last week, the administration sent us a request for a number of funding items they'd like us to work on, from aid to Ukraine, pandemic relief, and other items. This process, of course, needs to be bipartisan.
The bill the Democrats want to stick the COVID funding in is also to avoid a government shutdown at the end of the month. It will need buy-in from both parties. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
All right, well, in other news tonight, if you are a dog owner in need of another option for keeping your furry family members occupied, well, there's a new doggy daycare now open in Bangor. Castlegate Canine Center, located on the Pushaw Road in Bangor, opened its doors and its kennels for dogs last week. The owners, Kevin and Patty Schmerschel, have 25 years of experience breeding German Shepherds and say they wanted to open a doggy daycare because there was a need for more daycare options for pet owners.
We all have a lot of dog experience, love them, want to do everything we can to help them be well-rounded. And so that's why we started.
We can house 12 dogs total right now, but we are looking to expand in the spring.
Castlegate Canine Center is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. The cost is $30 a day per dog, but varies if pet owners have more than one pooch. And definitely a fun time. Looks like those pups are having a fun time in any case. Well, Jeff Weller's coming back with our full 5-day All the Answers. Stay with us, folks.
Much warmer temperatures are on the way. The rain is now gone. We're dry into the weekend, and then 80s are back in the forecast. I will tell you when I come back.
What
happened between Tuesday and Friday, Jared Golden broke his promise. Tuesday, Jared Golden campaigned as an independent fighter against Biden's spending that he knew
would make inflation worse.
But 3 days later, voted for Biden's newest spending bill that will raise taxes on nearly every Mainer, nearly double the IRS. And in Jared Golden's words,
make inflation worse.
Jared Golden broke his promise to Mainers. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Hashie's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashie's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine, inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
My husband took my son. He could take him anywhere. I'm not gonna let anything happen to him.
The Cleaning Lady season premiere, Monday, September 19th on Fox.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Thornton Brothers in Lincoln. Buy a new or used Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram vehicle from us today. You make the drive, we'll make the deal. And all right, so for us, we're going to crank up the heat again. Tomorrow, mid-70s back in the forecast. Thursday, we could go for 80. And then it looks like we're going to be firmly in the 80s this weekend into early portions of next week. Today, though, not so much, right? 68 here in Bangor, 70 Millinocket. So it was a cool day today because we had lots of cloud cover early, but that went away then, right? And lots of clear skies are out there right now. The overall trend, though, keeps us well above average in temperatures through middle portions of September. So we're going to crank up the heat again and hold on to summer for a while as we have highs back near 80 into the weekend. Today, though, lots of clouds early gave way to some sunshine. There's still a couple of clouds out there now, but you know what that means, right? The clear skies, the light winds means radiational cooling. Low temperatures down near 50, meeting the dew point. That will give us some dense fog after midnight tonight. As the rain will stay to our south, this is all traveling kind of this way, away from us. So we'll have clearing skies tonight, bring back some sunshine across our region tomorrow, and then do it all over again for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with slowly warming temperatures. Walk you through it tonight. This is all dense fog really late tonight and tomorrow morning. Here's about 9:30, still some fog around. It'll be slow to lift tomorrow. When it does, though, gorgeous sunshine tomorrow. Into tomorrow evening, looking pretty good. Same story for us on Thursday, more fog late Thursday morning. And then overall, a very nice couple of days around here into the weekend. But the fog is going to be very thick tonight and also tomorrow night too. So you're driving, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, be ready for that. All right, let's check on the tropics now. 3 systems out there not affecting land for anybody. Likely to stay that way for a while, affecting shipping channels out there currently, and that will probably linger into the weekend like that. All right, so going forward for us, though, lots of clear skies out there tonight. Some dense fog is likely already forming out there right now. Look for low temperatures down near 49. That's refreshing with a calm wind tonight. For tomorrow, all right, here we go. Lots of sunshine. Highs back up near the upper 70s. A couple of you could go for 80 tomorrow, and that's just the beginning of that. With a calm wind pretty much all day. It's going to be a gorgeous day pretty much the entire day tomorrow. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story. So 78 tomorrow. A couple of you are going to do 80 tomorrow. 76 for Thursday. Okay, lots of sunshine. Friday, though, look at 81 Friday, 82 Saturday, 80 on Sunday. Here we are in September with highs in the 80s this weekend. Beth?
All righty, Jeff. Thanks so much. Well, sports is next with Dave Peck. Stay with us.
My Blake dining set, table and 6 chairs, or table, 4 chairs and bench in 3 finishes, in dining height or counter height. With Bob's discount, only $5.99. And now how am I going to tie my shoes?
Get Bob's discount!
Now you can buy a certified pre-owned vehicle with confidence at every turn. Meet Ford Blue Advantage. Browse our massive inventory online anytime. Then check out our vehicles in person at your Ford dealer. See, touch, drive before you buy. And get a certified inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, Carfax report, a money-back guarantee, and 31,000 factory-trained technicians to service your Ford after the sale. Ford Blue Advantage. Certified pre-owned vehicle buying built for you.
Nothing hits harder than this. Five-Finger Death Punch. Saturday, September 17th. Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine, with Megadeth. And special guests, The Who. And Fire from the Gods. On sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com. Five-Finger Death Punch. New single, Afterlife, out now.
If you've been injured and think you can't afford a lawyer, think again. There's absolutely no fee unless we win money for you.
I called the twos after a big truck put me in the hospital. I never paid Lowry and Associates a penny out of my pocket. They came to the hospital, got my medical bills paid, got me $350,000.
I'm Jim with Lowry and Associates. Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Check out my Playscape 2-piece sectional. The $12.99 price tag makes it great. The 2 colors and 5 decorative pillows makes it greater. The comfy pop-up sleeper with Bobapedic memory foam makes it greater.
Get Bob's discount!
Greater.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by Body Graphics Tattoo and Piercing Studio. Coming soon to our new location at 27 Bangor Mall Boulevard. Call 478-7856.
Back everyone. Well, less than ideal start for Maine football over the weekend, and by that I mean it was pretty ugly. A 41-0 loss to New Mexico opens up the Jordan Stevens era, leaving plenty to clean up ahead of Saturday's home opener. They had their hands full with an FBS opponent as it was, but offensively the Black Bears did next to nothing as far as moving the football. Defense struggled as well. Obviously, just 118 yards of total offense and 7 first downs. Part of that had to do with the Lobos, but talking with some of the guys on Tuesday, they said there are several self-inflicted mistakes that need to be addressed.
When we get out there 1st and 10, we're already behind the chains if it's 1st and 20. So, that hurts. So we definitely, just cleaning up the mental mistakes, things like that.
We've been talking about accountability, all those pieces of getting in and watching tape, making sure that we are prepared every time we step on the field. And because that's just unacceptable, to be on the field and not knowing what you're doing. But as coaches, that falls on us to make sure our players know their roles in the field.
Now, fixing mental errors has been an ongoing task for the Black Bears in recent years, regardless of who's been head coach. And that challenge will continue when Maine hosts Colgate next Saturday afternoon.
This is a process here. And, to compare us to, another year or whatever it was is just unfair to the players, unfair to, the whole group here. This is a new staff, a new team, a new year. So just basing it solely on that, we need to improve.
So kickoff for the home opener is set for 1 p.m. this coming Saturday in Orono. And the very next day, it'll be kickoff for the Patriots 2022 season. No practice on Tuesday, though, as the team left for Miami earlier than usual to get acclimated down south. Bill Belichick did meet with the media and really went into some detail when talking about game planning for a familiar opponent, in this case, the Miami Dolphins. He was asked how often he sees something new or a concept that shows evolution in the game, and had a pretty interesting answer, particularly when talking about the origin of trick plays.
A lot of times come from mistakes or things that happen in a practice setting that you look at it and say, well, we've never really done this before, but look at what the reaction was. Maybe we could put in a play off this, kind of like Paul Brown's version of the draw. When the ball was handed off and the lineman thought it was a pass play and everybody ran right past the runner, and there was the draw.
Not know that. So you learn something new every day. That's the origin of it, and maybe they'll have something up their sleeves this Sunday. Let's head over now to the high school scene, though, with fall sports officially in full swing. First day of school up at Old Town. Coyote field hockey hosting the Broncos. Nice decoration there for game number 2. Defensive battle in this one. Late in the first, no score. Karma Regari with a full head of steam cracks one just wide of the net later. Grace Willie here weaving through the Broncos defense, hits the deck, but Natalie Fournier helps her out. Jada Bilodeau just too good in net, though, kicks that one away, keeps it a 0-0 game. But in the second, Lily DeWilt crosses it in front. Kaylee Wagner with the bump. Regari with the finish as Old Town takes it 2-0, the final. And to the nightcap we go now. Bangor boys soccer hosting Lewiston over at Cameron Stadium. Late in the first half, Rams up 2-1. Shafi Ibrahim with some fancy footwork here fires one home to tie things at 2. Second half now still tied. Bangor with a great look here. Gabe Berenyi looking top shelf, bounces right off the crossbar. Blue Devils able to clear it. Then later, Ibrahim again, this time working on the left side, crosses it to Mohamed Gabo. Loose ball in the air, somehow finds the back of the net. And then later, cross from Mustafa Hassan. That's trouble for Bangor, and it's Ibrahim who makes them pay. Lewiston goes on to take it 5-2. And here's a look at some of the other scores from around the state on Tuesday. Class A girls soccer, Bangor does get one in the split. The girls take it 12-0 over Lewiston. Then some field hockey action. Brewer downs Herman 4-1. And boys soccer, John Bapst 5-1 over Foxcroft. And Central able to blank Dexter 6-0. All righty, that's sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Interest rates are on the rise and making waves in the real estate market. Buying or selling? You need a navigator. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
The signs of summer are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And a day at the lake brings the family together. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort, serving northern Maine to Portland. With the push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump, you're ready for whatever summer brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
We're lucky to live in Maine. We have a wealth of natural resources, hardworking people, and time for the things that matter. Mechanical Services is all about Maine, with energy efficiency that protects our environment and helps businesses grow. Preventive maintenance and energy solutions that save money. How Maine is that? Mechanical Services. We're everywhere you are in Maine.
Whether you're hurt by a box truck or by any commercial vehicle, you may have a big case worth big money. If you've been hurt by any commercial truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground. Odland Road, Bangor.
The bond between twins is a close one.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
As day is tonight.
Would you like me to introduce you to algebra? Ow who? Oh boy.
And wrong is to right.
They both say weird kid who eats alone.
You can't have one without the other.
I need my own space. But we've always shared a room. I have a training bra. When you complete your training, get back to me.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Homes are selling in a single day. The real work happens well before. I'm Holly Taylor, and I have the expertise to guide you through your home improvements. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
This is genius.
Jerry O'Connell hosts the world's greatest family party game, Pictionary.
Coming to Fox 22 this fall.
Electronic cigarette maker Juul Labs agreed to pay nearly $440 million to settle a multi-state investigation into the company's e-cigarette marketing practices. Attorneys general from 33 states probed Juul's early promotions and claims about the safety and benefits of its high-nicotine vaping products as a smoking alternative. The investigation found that Juul unfairly marketed its e-cigarettes to underage teens with launch parties, product giveaways, and by using young models in social media posts. Since Juul's launch in 2015, teen use of e-cigarettes skyrocketed more than 70%, leading the FDA to declare underage vaping a, quote, epidemic. Juul also faces hundreds of personal suits from teenagers who say they became addicted to the company's product. Maine is set to receive between $10,650,000 and $11,500,000 in payments made annually over the next 6 to 10 years. Well, good news for the airline industry. Labor Day weekend travel topped 2019 levels for the first time. The TSA reporting it screened 8.76 million air travelers over the 4-day holiday weekend. This is the first time it's exceeded the 8.24 million screened in 2019. It's a good sign the airline industry is on track to bounce back from the pandemic, though experts warn an industry slump could be approaching in fall as business travelers have been slow to return to the sky. A report by the Global Business Travel Association predicted corporate travel won't fully return until mid-2026. Alrighty, well, in other news tonight, talking to your plants might help your mental health. More than 1,200 plant owners participated in a recent survey. They were asked how often they talk to their plants. Nearly 50% admitted they do it, and 62% of participants say it helps make them a little happier. A Japanese study also found that having a plant in your office space can improve your mental health. The study suggests adding a small plant to your desk decor can help with anxiety and stress at work. So definitely some good advice there. Alrighty, well, McDonald's is bringing back a classic menu item, the cheese Danish. The flaky pastry with sweet cream and vanilla drizzle used to be served in the 80s, and this year, McDonald's decided to update the sweet treat for the fall season. The company saying it hopes to give customers an alternative to popular pumpkin, maple, and pecan items. The cheese Danish will roll out at participating restaurants nationwide starting on September 14th, so a new snacking option there. And it seems Dairy Queen is also really falling into autumn. The company is rolling out its new fall Blizzard menu, which comes complete with some new treats. The cinnamon roll centers Blizzard. There's also the Reese's Take 5 Blizzard, which mixes Reese's peanut butter cups, pretzels, and whole peanuts into their vanilla soft serve with caramel. Yum. And finally, the Snickers Brownie Blizzard, which is packed with Snickers bar pieces and brownie bits. If all this isn't for you, though, the company is also releasing fall items that aren't exactly edible, like its Blizzard-scented pillows. Give one of those a try. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Take care and have a great
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Are you ready for a fresh new bath or shower? Well, now is the best time with 50% off installation and no interest and no payments for 1 year.